ingredient board. It's just you. What's up?
I took one of your recipes and would like to do something with it for Halloween.
Okay, hi. I'm Boater. This is ingredient board, and this is Halloween. Let's cook something. Alright, so I had a bit of trouble finding a meal plan for Halloween. There's always like pumpkin this and candy corn that, all like for desserts. But I really couldn't think of anything for a meal. So what eventually occurred to me was doing one of my favorites, which is stuffed burgers, and playing around with it a little. I'm going to call them weeping burgers. That sounds good.
No.
You know what? It could
Stop
be worse.
talking.
So, whatever. They're burgers with faces in them that are stuffed. It's tasty. I'm going to shut up and turn it over to ingredient board.
1 pound of ground beef, shredded cheese, 1 raw tomato, 2 hamburger buns, Worcestershire sauce.
Whoa. Slow it down. Whatever happened to giving them to me one at a time?
I'm late for a Halloween party.
What parties are... Never mind. One at a time. What are we going to need for tonight?
1 pound of ground beef.
Generally figure about half a pound a person.
Shredded cheese.
I went with a blend of mozzarella and cheddar. You can use whatever. Ideally, you're going to use something that doesn't melt quite as fast, but I don't know cheeses that well, so I just went with what tastes good.
1 raw tomato. 2 hamburger buns.
Fresh from the bakery. Or at least this morning.
Worcestershire sauce.
You know, in case she didn't pronounce it right.
I did not pronounce it wrong.
Worcestershire, one of these is going to be correct.
You are terrible at this.
Worcestershire, Walla Walla, Washington, or Wow Sauce. Take your pick.
Lastly, we will need smileys.
Smileys?
Smileys. Why so serious?
Thanks. Hey, I can ice it.
That is for implying that I cannot go to parties.
Preheat to 425, blah, bake 6 to 8, flip, and bake 6 to 8. That seems like a lot of work, so you know what, I'm just going to start the oven now, put these in and forget about them when the time comes. Cool. For our meat, go ahead and get a mixing bowl big enough for it. Just because I'm going to get in trouble otherwise, when working with me, wash your hands. I'm not going to keep saying it, just, you should know this by now, because I got yelled at. By my sister, my little sister. It's embarrassing. Into our meat, we're going to be putting the Make Meat Better button, as well as our Wow sauce. Go ahead and sprinkle some in. I usually don't like saying, you know, to taste or whatever, but yeah, just, I don't know, do what feels right. If you use too much, you'll know, and then you'll be able to fix it next time. If you don't use enough, then it's going to be like, well, why did I do that? Just kind of experiment with it, see what works for you. You've got it in there, mix it around, and then after you've done that, go ahead and do that one more time. Salt, pepper, Walla Walla, Washington. I mentioned before we've got 1 pound of ground beef, and we're doing about a ½ pound per person. That means I'm cooking for 2. Yay! Let's do the math. We're actually going to be making 4 patties when we start out. Take your meat, split it up into ginormous meatballs that are not at all even, but that's when you cannibalize the bigger ones to feed the smaller ones. It's called communism. That's just actually not what it's called. These are the saddest looking meatballs ever. What do you think, viewers? About even? Yeah, close enough. Go ahead and form these into your patties. Make sure you get them, you know, nice and tight, because you don't want them falling apart on you. Especially with the trickery we're going to be performing upon them later. Next, cut up your tomato into small little slices. Now, of the 2 of us here having burgers, one of us doesn't like tomatoes, so I'm just going to do it on the one. Just go ahead and seat that in there. And then we're placing cheese. Use a little bit extra cheese than you normally would. Some of this is going to escape, run out, do whatever. So just fill it up with a nice gob of cheese. Again, on just 1/2 of it, because we're essentially making sandwiches of hamburger patty top pudding in a bun for another sandwich. It's a sandwich in a sandwich. Sandwichception. And just because it's Halloween and I just realized that we don't really have enough blood, let's go ahead and toss in some ketchup too. Meh. I have no idea how this is going to taste. Let's rock this.
That's what's scary about it.
I know. Now we are going to make tiny little faces. Terrified looking fellow. Because ideally, and I don't know if it'll actually work out this way, blood and cheese, well, ketchup and cheese, are going to come pouring out of his eyes and mouth. I've had stuffed burgers leak on me before. Hopefully we're just controlling which way it's going to leak. So we're doing that and placing it on top there. Take your burgers and just crimp the ends closed like this. I know there's a lot in there, especially with how much cheese we put in. It may not close up that easily. You want to have a unified meat edge all the way around. Put our face back in. He looks terrified already. Face.
I'm sorry, it looks like you're molesting the meat.
Go ahead and get a cookie sheet for your smileys and make these little bastards pay for what they've done to you. Don't worry guys, you aren't getting away scot-free either. You can do this ideally on a grill. You can also do it on a skillet if you like, frying pan, whatever. I have a George Foreman grill, so I'm going to use it on here. The trick with this is that I know that some of the cheese is going to leak out. We're going to put the burgers on there face down. Hopefully the cheese doesn't completely melt and fall out first. And then when we flip it, it'll be face up and then it'll be ready to go. So that's the hope. So I will see you in about 10 minutes. 5 minutes, flip them, 5 minutes. See how they look, use a meat thermometer if you're pro. Yeah, and I'll see you then. Alright, so these just finished. Shut up. See, I didn't have to flip them. Look at that. They're a little sunburned. And I think our burgers are done too. Let's take a look at those. Oh, here's a hint. If you're putting tomato into one of them, because the other person doesn't like tomato, try to remember which one has tomato in it. I'm guessing it's the thicker one, because that was the kind of thick slice I used, but I'm really not sure. Okay, so the result here, I'm not really seeing our face, but I am seeing some cheese, at least, so at least that lets me know that the cheese is still inside. So the whole crying burger thing didn't really work, but it was worth a try. Nevertheless, it still looks like it'll be pretty tasty. You can top your burger with whatever you like. Burgers with mayo, lettuce, tomato. Me, I've already got tomato in there, so I'm not going to do that. And we didn't get lettuce, so what I am going to do is top it with some Thousand Island, because it's about the only orange topping I could think of for Halloween. And if you like your burgers really well done, then you've got the whole black thing going on too. Orange and black Halloween colors. Huzzah. Yeah, let's eat. Alright. That's really good. The face didn't come out right, but still really tasty. One word of warning is that the cheese inside is going to be very hot, so don't just bite into it with abandon. Let me see if I picked the right one for the tomato. I have no idea. So, anyway, while I solve this mystery, you can subscribe, you know, give me suggestions, meal ideas, let me know that I've got something on my face, and I will see you next episode. Bye! Hey guys, it's Boater. I just wanted to make another comment on this preceding episode. I bit into the burger and I was like, wow, that tastes really good, and I think the reason for that was the ketchup that I added at the last minute on a whim. It actually really helped out the flavor. Anytime you're doing a stuffed burger, whether it's for Halloween or whatever, remember cheese and ketchup. Oh my god. Wow. So